Hello darlings, this is Mikey. It's Red Deck Wednesday, where I take on the challenge of playing red in a state of format that's not really geared towards supporting red. But hey oh, it's my happy little place playing red. I've gone for a build that is heavy on the burn package, so hopefully we can nerf those fast or Ouroboros starts. I've got all the ways of I've got the O'Hare Ashnell grouping that really does help close out games and kind of gets opponents into locked states. And then we've got the 3-drop slots, which is big fly boy that goes over the top in the case of the Crimson Pulse to hopefully add to our hand. So one thing I want to try out today is going back to the full 4 Hellkites. Not playing 4 Hellkites was a little bit of a response to not seeing as many Llanowar elves as I'd been previously, but Green seems to be back on the rise with plenty of Llanowar elves around to be nugging. So let's sideboard wise, we've got sweepers. I'm not convinced fire magic is the correct sweeper, but for now it's fine. We've got a couple of soul guide lanterns, probably the best. Graveyard, hate piece, in standard. Have an abrade for that one artifact deck that I seem to always run into, and I just want something to pick off an artifact in that deck. It's a relatively decent matchup, but with the tempo of the game, it's worth it. I've got a pair of Seers as another way of just keeping the board clear. We've got the main Bane Lizard for the Lessons matchup, and we've got the Sunspire Lynx for the control matchups. Simple as that. Let's get into games. Round 1, opening hand. We're on the draw, which is notable for keeping this hand because it's really looking for that fourth land. You can manage with 2 for a bit, but it's really trying to get up into the Hellkite range. We've got the 1-drop, 2-drop curve. No shock, sadly, for the Gene Pollinator, so we're going to have to bite it a little bit. Into Badgermole, yeah. Into Elf, yes. Anything to take out the Badgermole, thank you. So with a land, they get to Ouroboros, so let's try and just get this game closed off a bit. You can have a Suruk, I'm fine with that. So I could Nova Hellkite and give you a card. Don't like the sound of that. I think I'm happy. Let's get the Needlehead down. Possibly present a double block on the Suruk, but better blocks for all the docks you got going. And if we can get this Ashnell down, we've got something that kind of feels like the way to close out the game. Ding dong. 13. Okay. So land for turn. Do we bounce the Viper, play the Viper? Bounce Riddler, play Viper. Be able to get in for this turn. You're at 9. You're going to be at less than 9 actually. So this potentially sets me up for a line where just dropping Ashnell next turn is good enough. So yes, let's go for bouncing the Riddler. You draw from 0, you get dinged. I will. Okay, that's more than enough for the opponent. Okay, fine by me. So I would like to see Seer come out. I would. Yes, I want links. I want to think about fire magic. So Boulder Dash looks like it's going to be pretty healthy this matchup. 2 for 1 in the Badger Mole. I want to up my count of ways of healthily interacting with Ouroboros, since that's where this game's going. If we're bringing in all this additional removal, shocks might be less than ideal. Likewise, trading 3 mana for an elf is pretty underwhelming, but not having something that can go over the top doesn't feel right. Firebrand is going to get outclassed very quickly. One more thing to get rid of. Case of Crimson Pulse is not exactly going to win me the game. I very much lose to Ouroboros if I don't have a removal spell, so tapping out on 3 for Case is pretty terrible. So yeah, this makes sense to me. Let's go for game 2. Okay, game 2. Game up. I've got a little bit of a curve and I've got removal. Do have a pretty tight window to find blue mana. There we are. Excellent. I've got no reason to need to bluff the shock. So do we get Badger Mole Slam here? No. Copying my claw, okay. This is okay. Verge for me. Let's attack with the Hive Claw. If you double block, I get to take one of them out without losing my guy. So this is just a cheeky attack that just gets in. Redskin Needlehead, so Gene Pollinator doesn't get to attack, and start the pink train. Badger Mole, okay. You definitely making an amount of mana. There's Ouroboros. Okay. So things I can do this turn. I can bounce the Ouroboros. And could be doing burst lightning on Botanical Sanctum. I think I've kind of got a funky need to attack this turn, otherwise I'm never going to close this out. Jump bounce, fine. Yeah. Less well. Let's take up the Sanctum in upkeep. You're still going to have more than enough mana to drop Ouroboros again, but you're going to have less creatures to do it with. Less creatures to attack with because of it. Yes. Taking you to 13. Ouroboros. No attacks. No attacks. We'll take no attacks. Scalding Viper down. Don't think I'm presenting a great race here, but between Needlehead and Viper we're getting our dings in. Would really love to draw an Ashenil right about now. I'm going to get to do that thing. How much do I actually need to be blocking in the rest of it? You can produce green mana to do that thing if you really want to. Yeah, so I'm going to get... I definitely get got next turn. So it is probably a relatively reasonable thought to fire off this lightning strike now. Get them down to 9. Getting countered? Yeah. Okay. Getting dinged instead. And then new Needlehead. I mean, I think I need to be sitting on this Lynx for as long as possible. I'm not convinced I can actually play out this Soulstone Sanctuary with the current game plan. I'm going to need at least 3 blockers to survive the turn, right? So presume the High Claw definitely gets in. It's going to get in for 10, 11, possibly 12. So these links could possibly result in a draw. I mean, the Lynx is likely to just kill me off, but I think this is my best line to get there. You go into 7. Okay, just hoof me. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Bar and random hoof. Okay. Yeah, I've done the math enough to know that if could have got there. So I think I want to take up my interaction up again and just, yeah, I'm really unimpressed with fire magics so far. Let's bring the Firebrand back, cheap blocker. Okay, let's try this. Now I'm back on the play, so hopefully this match should feel kind of different. It's fine. Okay. Interaction for the early, interaction with Ouroboros, and then kind of the late game plan as well. This is not bad. Right. Get our Verge down. Do we want to try and use this Boulder Dash for a 2-for-1? We got the Lightning Strike, so whatever you play this turn we can take out. Presumably it's going to be Badger Mole. You play Badger Mole. We will kill the Badger Mole. You can make mana with the elf. Make another Badger Mole. Is your hand really that filthy? Okay, Leyline Weaver. I'm okay with that. I would like to use Boulder Dash to take out the Weaver and the Elf. I'll have Fanatical Firebrand come down. We're gonna put pause in the upkeep. We're gonna send it over. We're gonna take out land now. Chuck them on mana for the turn. Okay, I nerfed the start of the game plan. I mean, of course they redeployed more elves, but this is fine. I'm going to get Ashenil down this turn. Haven't got a good reasonable way to double spell, and Lynx is not close to what I want at the moment. I mean, if you go for the double block, we take out our Boroid. We can strike the Pollinator and take out the Aura Boroid. Yeah. It's not it's not pretty, but it would do the job. So Lynx is currently doing 3. 3 to each of us. Okay, I get in for 4 there. Needlehead can come down. I'm taking quite the major chunk on my next turn. Their next turn. Okay, so if I'm using Lightning Strike on something, I'm using it now. I'm at risk of just taking 12. That's okay. Yeah, I don't mind taking 12. I've got you kind of basically in the range of just being done. A Lightning Strike you to 6. I Boulder Dash. Boulder Dash can do 4. Razor Needlehead can do other 4. Yeah. This will do that. You need to insta speed gain a buttload. Sure, that thing can have indestructible. You still take 4. No attacks. Say go. Draw a step. Donezo. Woohoo! 1-0. Game 2, here we go. Have we won the die roll? We haven't won the die roll. And we're also playing against Ajani, which always makes me fearful of Soul Sisters action. Okay. Anything but seeing like Aunt May, Case of the Who's My Flip. This is a weird one lander because it's honestly, if this was a mountain, I'm like very close to keeping it. I'm even very close to keeping it right now. It's game 1. I'm on the draw. I've got 2 plays to make before I need to really worry about finding the mountain. Even red source. So let me just untapped has given me what? 21, 29, 37. 37's not bad outs. And then I get what, two looks before I'm concerned. Yeah, it's kind of close. We're going to risk it because it's quite entertaining if it gets there. Let's get the hard claw down. Still worried about the Soul Sisters action. Okay, slightly less worried about Soul Sisters now. Slightly frustrating. Mountain. Give me mountain. We'll take another hard claw though. Alright. Second hide claw, not as good as mountain, but it's okay. Okay. I'm not sure what deck I'm playing. Selesnya middle. Is this like a Una deck? But no, you're playing this, so you're at least banned. And if you're trying to mill things, why are you... If you're trying to reanimate stuff, why are you picking up this guy out your graveyard? This is okay. Okay. I think it's very clear that I shouldn't have kept that opening hand. The math felt... math was medium in the end. It didn't feel entirely off. Okay. Now that's just jokes. So this is a Kona deck. This is a Kona cheat deck. Okay. Yeah. We don't need to play it out. So this should be a relatively okay matchup. If you're just trying to cheat out big dumb things with Kona, we're going to tick up the Abrade and the Sears. We can almost definitely take out the Shocks. Boulder Dash is doing basically nothing. Links. Yeah, that looks like a very non-basic dense land base. Fanatical Firebrand isn't trading for a creature, so I might as well play the Shocks. I think I've got a reasonable argument for bringing the Magebane Lizards in this matchup, but currently I've only seen them play a spell per turn, so it's not like it's going to be insane if I do bring it in. The 1-4 toughness doesn't seem like it's going to matter. Just a good smattering of ways of interacting with Kona at instant speed and some late game, well, not late game, but like easier ways of closing, harder ways of closing out the game and denying the life gain. Let's go. We get to go first. This is fine. Okay. This is a far better hand. We got a nice little curve of adding to the board, and we've even got a curve's worth of interaction. It's going to be a little bit... Okay, playing out tapped land. How concerned am I of my opponent just being able to get there on 2? I don't think you can go that hard, so we will put a mana into Hired Claw. Okay, picking up Seam Rip, taking out my Hired Claw, and Authority of the Councils. Okay. Don't mind having a tapped Razorkin Needlehead. Undo the ding you're going to get from Authority of the Councils this game. If I had any haste, I mean, I've got the Hellkite, so I'm probably sitting round on Scald and Viper until I see a Hellkite. Director's Insight might be a frustrating amount of life for you to gain. You're going to get Kona. Another Authority of the consoles, okay. I'm not going to mind this. So I'm going to keep one of these open. I'm always attacking with Needlehead here. I want Lightning Strike and Seer available. Do I want them both? Or do I just need one of them? Man's going to be tapped out. If he plays out Kona, he's going to be tapped out, so it's probably medium. I feel like I need to add to the board just to make a clock. Then we need to probably manage these Authority of the Consoles this game. 2 life there when it's not that much, not that little. Yeah. 2 life in this part of the game is nothing I'm going to be upset about. Rima is a 5/5. You get a legend. What legend would you like? Excuse me. Okay. Gonna lie, that's a little bit scary to see. I think I want to continue to be able to double tap Kona. Push Shock for Steam Vent so we have access to the whole hand we have here. Get into 4, put you to 11. And then we've got 2 ways of interact. Technically 3 ways of interacting with Kona, but we get to try and do it. Like, try and do it, wait for a response, and then do it. Tapped land, excellent. This means this C is going to get off. So this is potentially 7 in hand. You're going to play out Kona. The moment you station, we're going to Seer. Not sure how you station a planet, but that's a bit of a different thing. Okay, and then we've got 3 damage for your face. Go turn, jam, and burn out. Not bad, not bad. But game number 3, we are level. Is there anything else I would like to see out of board here? No. There's a rethinking of Magebane Lizard, because that's quite a lot of non-creature spells being cast, but yeah. I think Mage Rain Legion's just going to clunk me up for having the interaction ready to go. So yeah, let's keep this locked in. I would like to drop off Nova Hellkites though. Authority of the Consoles feels like it's going to be pretty relevant. So if we were to dump off a couple Hellkites for the Soul Guide Lanterns, we've seen some graveyard interaction from our opponent, both in the Analyze the Pollen and the Dredge's Insight. So if we can nerf up the graveyard and maybe get a card back, like, that sounds more powerful than a Hellkite that's stuck behind the consoles. Yes. Match 2, game 3, let's go. I liked... This is not a hand. This is very close to being actually real. I don't think I need shocks in this matchup. Very much I need to sit on this strike. Just can't let you get to your second main with Kona. So we're just going to be probably playing nice and slow. Possibly playing the Viper. Probably not playing the Crimson Pulse until we know coast is very clear. Yeah, we'll get this Golden Viper down. Might get you to use a Seam Rip Up. So you've got the planet in play. You could potentially have Kona in hand. So my next turn needs to be nice and slow. Tap land. Hold up Lightning Strike. Touch Cloth. I mean Sweat. Okay. Get dinged. That's a lot of vehicles for the big beastie puppy. Feels a bit more than necessary. Yeah. Okay, you didn't run out Kona this turn. Possibly just due to tapped land. If I could draw a tab, not Nova Hellkite. I'm just going to play in fear of Kona coming down. I don't want to see how much value a Kona can get my opponent. A land next turn would be, yeah, kind of eager to see a few more lands coming along. Do I get to run out this case next turn? It's nowhere near getting solved, but if we were to case pitching an Ashenel, okay, opponent just scooped out of nowhere. Clearly the fear of me having Lightning Strike Senseers was enough. Okay. We don't complain. Alrighty. Round 3 on the drop. Why can't I win a die roll? It's fine. part of the parcel playing a deck that always wants to go first is never winning die roll, but that's fine. This hand has no good reason to mulligan. We've got all the 1-drops and a little bit of late game interaction. This leading on Restless Reef makes me think this is the mill control deck again. So I think our late game is going to have to be pretty keen. I don't want to risk pumping all my mana into Hard Claw this turn only for it to get killed off. So let's add to the board and try and get wide. This also gets me in. Okay, no. Okay, it's going to be ninjas. Did you misplay that? Okay. Could be Fairies deck. I think a tapped land and hold up all this interaction. Actually, having Hard Claw down seems, not putting Hard Claw down seems kind of silly. We've got all these shocks available, so there's doesn't feel like there's a lot that can mess us up. Tidebinder can come down with no effect. That's fine. So basically going to have to be, I don't know, Kaito doing Kaito things. You can plus it. You can make a ninja. Okay. We will take out the Tidebinder. We will ding off Kaito. Attack with a high claw. I mean, I think I'm always pumping it, but I want to tempt you into blocking first. Using a mana, trying to retain our actual burns. Like, Burst Lightning is an actual burn spell in my mind, as opposed to Shock, which is a removal spell. So I'm going to try and sit on Burst Lightnings for as long as possible. Like, obviously these certain creatures that definitely need to be taken out by the Burst Lightning, but it's not going to be, it's not going to feel like a fundamental error to not use Burst Lightning on creatures. Lightning Strike is also far more removal spell than a burn spell for me. Okay. I'm just going to take out the nuisance so that I can actually attack at Kaito and or the opponent. What do I want to be doing this turn? So if I just play up this Golden Viper, yeah, don't mind this. Attack Kaito for 2, ding you for 1. And yeah, don't mind that. I think your average turn has you getting dinged by the Viper. You can take up Kaito and try and solve the race. 7, putting me to 9, that's okay. Yes. No blocks. Actually, as long as you're not convinced to draw cards off of Kaito, I'm going to be happy with it. So, 3 mana to stun a thing, which you can do. Struggling for enough mana to get the other end of this going. So, yeah, we'll take out the horse. Presumably you're going to stun the hired claw. No, you're just going to draw. Okay. That makes sense. I am not confused. I have 7 points of burn in hand. Potentially 9 points of burn in hand. I just kind of need to get through a couple of turns. So for that consideration, I think we've got to send a lightning strike at Kaito. Yeah, lightning strike Kaito away, so we're not stressing there. Yes, this only takes me down to possible 6 points of burn in hand, but that feels more than enough. That Lockmare has definitely done its job. Damn. Nerfing my shock was quite upsetting. Okay, so potential of getting forward by the horse. I don't think you've got a sudden extra 2 to do. I could stress about another Kaito coming in. If we're stressing about new Kaito, let's chop the horse. Possibly better to be jumping with the high claw at this point. If opponent wants to Kaito, it's got to be for that ninja. Okay, so you're enduring curiosity. I shall shock the ninja. Deny you that card draw. Seems pretty nice. Okay. Also in Sanctuary, bit of a rough draw. So if I was to attack here, the best I could do is trade with Enduring Curiosity. Does get potential lethal off the board. But you don't have to block it. Yeah. You not having to block it is the thing that is ultimately quite painful here. Oh, excellent. You do a removal spell. So if I block, I mean, I'm not technically dead. Do I need to be doing anything? I just want to be denying the card draw. Let's get in front of the Lockmare. And then do up the claw. So kind of taking the chump and hoping this Bob is gonna be my friend. Yeah, I don't give you a good excuse to be draw an extra card. Like, you've got 3s and 4s in this deck. It definitely feels like there's a world where you just flip another Enduring Curiosity and I get there. I don't want to use that. I've got this Burst Lightning that wants to do the job. So we've got Excitement in your draw step, and that's kind of the best I can say about what's going on at the moment. Yeah. Nice flat 5 points of burn. Can we see a 4-drop? No. Okay. Next game. Sometimes you got to use your opponent's resources against them. Sometimes that doesn't really work because they're a very skilled player. They're too good to let things like 4-drops be on top of the deck and the rest of it. So, here. What do I want in this matchup? I think I'm relatively okay in this matchup. It's actually a really kind of awkward match to sideboard for. I would bring in Lynx, but the vampires offer creatures that I don't think that's gaining life, and there's no fast lands, so you know the close out of Lynx isn't really an option. Like Magebane Lizard maybe makes for decent blockers, but with the majority of their stuff having flash or flying, flash, flying, and all being creatures, it's never pinging. I could bring in Seer as a way to take out Preacher because Preacher is quite annoying. Like easy way to take out the Lockmare as well. Maybe we do bring in a couple Lynxes as just a nod to the fact that they're dual coloured and maybe it gets there. Maybe it's big enough to get the job done. I don't like big mana hasties into whatever the Flood Pit Drowner. Yeah. I don't think Boulder Dash is actually doing me much. So let's bring in an extra Lynx and a Lizard. Yeah. No, don't. Okay. Well, that's how we sideboarded. In future, maybe I'd be bringing like one of the Fanatical Firebrands might be better than one of the Lynxes. Is opponent snoozing? Or they're just angry I took so long sideboarding? Jump cut. if you've seen the last round, then this is round 4. If you haven't seen the last round, this is round 3. Yeah, not sure what happened in round 3 there. Opponent got mad that I took forever in sideboard. I like this hand. We've got some interaction, we've got a little bit of a curve. Let's lead on steam vents and give a little bit of confusion to opponent. Okay, so this is lessons. Do get a little advantage from taking up the otter now, because we are going to have to deal with it. There's no question about that. I'd like the viper down, even though I presume it's snap take. Okay, not just getting got. Artist talent. So this is more than definitely the lessons deck. With that consideration, I think I want to slide case down now. Give a temptation for Boomerang Basics not to be bouncing Storm Chaser's talent. Grand coming down, you're getting dinged. Okay, opponent seems to be just playing out a bit of a rough hand with lessons, so we're going to try and capitalise. So these haven't seen removal. I think that's why I think it's been a bit of a rough hand for opponent. Turn 3 Grand feels a bit funky. I've not actually seen the lesson. Get dinged by the Viper. There's a strong probability that I'm winning by burn. I like the fact that they're tapped out now. Means this lightning strike would get off without a little quencher coming my way. It's fine. Another grand coming down. You're at 12. I could try and get these lightning strike off, because if you want to quench now, if you want to go for ill quencher now, I'd be quite happy. You'd be spending that. Okay. Okay. So lessons. We want the lizards. Don't want seer. I said I don't want seer. Hellkite is awfully medium because it doesn't take out Grand. There is a bit of a want for a Lynx. Could kind of split around. Yeah, I don't want to trade 2 mana for 1 mana creature, and Fanatical Firebrand doesn't actually. It trades with an altar token, which they normally wind up having a bunch of, so it's a bit underwhelming. I could be tempted to drop all the Hellkites because it doesn't actually take out Grand for fire magic, so I can try and sweep with the otters. Yeah. Do I like this? I think I like it. Mess with the lessons, punish your land base. No, I do need the Lynxes, something that actually has ETB damage. because this lesson takes very heavy on the interaction, and if my guys don't get to attack, I've got to find other ways of getting the damage in, and Lynx does that in all in one. Okay, this is a hand. This is a nice little curve. This is a good range of interaction. And we get Ashenil to pair up with the lizards. Yeah, okay. Opponents on Mulligan, make an otter. We will pay 2. We will get High Claw down. I think we can catch up with the board between Fire Magic and Burst Lightning, so I don't mind preventing a clock. I'd rather try and present a little bit of a clock. Like get my creatures on board and just be trying to punish the lessons deck sort of thing. I don't need to leave Hard Claw back to block. We got Magebane Lizard doing that role. These Soulstone Sanctuaries, they're good. They just shake out awkward when you've got double pipped 2 drops. Okay, so you waste a removal spell on the lizard. You've got dings. No land? No land. Superb. Oh, there is land, okay. So, options. So, I think I want to just wait around on this Fire Magic, see if I can get 2 for 1 job. My best line of action this turn, though, is probably attacking, pumping up Hide Claw, and leaving myself options between Burst and Fire Magic. Yeah. Leveling up our loaf totals. They attack for 1. This is fine. Absolutely fine. Not going to be mad. Yep. Repeat the cycle. 4 damage total this turn. You've got 1 less in the graveyard? Yeah, sure, you're not combustion techniquing it away. Put you to 10. We've got more than enough burn in hand. We'd like to draw land so we can kind of lock up the game. Not going to fire off this Fire Magic until they get second Otter down. Burst Lightning, I think, is going to be going to phase. Though that Grand is going to be tempting. Yeah, we'll take 1. I think I've got a good inroad to closing out this game, so I think I need to just push for it. No quench. Okay. I am quite confused. I'm still going to keep on this attack plan. Put you to 4. Hope you do something in my end step. No. So we got the double burst. Okay. Yeah. Very reasonable, very fair. Round 5. Here we go. Undefeated. Although some of those scoops were very questionable. This is an opening hand. Yeah. Get to run double claw. Get to run out double Hide Claw with shot back up. Okay. Versus Boros. I mean, I'm saying Boros, but I'm not sure what I'm looking into. No reaction, no... Okay. Yeah, so... Not got... Doesn't feel like they should have... They have burst lightnings or anything like that. Maybe this is just a real tasty... Okay, so... Boros Dragons? Is that a deck? Do I mind firing off this burst lightning right now? I think I like it. It's very aggressive. Set me up. It would have set me up nicely if I'd drawn a land to be running up this Nova Hellkite, getting my opponent down below 10. Yeah, getting them under 10 on turn 3 could have been quite nice. Momo. So missing the land drop is slightly painful. If you've got, I feel like there's interaction waiting to get fired off here, so we're just going to get in and see. So 5 points of damage to ship out at the moment. If we see a land, I think we get there on the next turn. Okay, Dragonhawk. You're going to get your impulse draws. I'll take 2, go 16. Use lightning strike to put you at 6. I feel awfully far behind. Yeah. The miss land drop is very punishing. What? I don't think I have anything close to a good line. You play out another dragon. You play out another dragon, I'm going to get, what, 4'd, 9'd, I'm at 5, I'd be at 5. So I do, I think the line here is Razorkin Needlehead, hope to hit that miss and land, and be able to drop Hellkite and get in. But we've got to presume we're going to be attacking into a flying blocker. Is putting an opponent to 5 with High Claw now of any value? You're going to be actively at 4, yeah. I think this gives me the best option to try and win. Clearly you just block. That's fine. Draw step puts you to 4. If you play out a big thing that doesn't have flying and I can draw a land, we get there. Magmatic Hellkite. Okay. Yeah, so we're not going to get there that way. And enter tapped. Okay. So I'm looking at you going down to 3. Yeah. It's, yeah. Yep. Oh. Okay, I've not seen this deck before, so this is kind of exciting. That's punishing. Jesus. There's just no way I actually survive. Let's see if the attack is respected. Yeah, fully respected. Okay. Alrighty, sideboard, here we come. Don't feel like this should be a terrible matchup. A little bit sad about all the missed land drops we had there. I think Lynx is correct in this matchup. Never Hellkite feels like it's going to get outclassed quite easily. Boulder Dash feels like it could be pretty underwhelming. We'll bring in Seer just in case we can double tap. As a potential double tap option to get rid of one of the big dragons. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, let's draw some lands in timely order. No. Maybe. This hand's got interaction and Viper, but I don't feel like this gets me there. Let's go to 5 and hope for something more. Okay, well we're kind of locked out on going any lower. Ditch a Viper, ditch a Needlehead. Yeah, this is, yeah, not going to be upset about those mulligan decisions. If this kind of goes as terrible as expected, I'm going to give you guys an extra round, make up for this being underwhelming and not really getting around that round 3 against ninjas, just gooping. I'm also enjoying my play today, so we're having fun. Getting to play red deck, getting to try and get there. So Mountain, Viper, we can maybe get there. There's a lot that needs to go right. Let's not lie about that. This case is going to have to do a lot of work, provided we can hit the land. Wielding you. Yes, that is a dragon. And then you got another Charming Prince. Yeah. Have another ding. Bunch of 2/2s for the opponents. Pretty frustrating. Didn't expect to be wanting the fire magic this matchup. Okay, yeah, this is the slide away kind of match that occasionally happens. Yeah. So my usual saying how we like magic because we don't mind the variance. If we couldn't deal with the variance of, if we didn't want to didn't want to deal with variance, I'd be playing chess. There is no variance in chess, there is pure skill. But it's okay. Is Seer doing me anything? We're going to sit on it. We will be able to take out Sarkin to reduce Dragonhawks. The pain of Dragonhawk. Clearing Conqueror is going to ding you. Sarkin's going to jump. You attack with that lot. Let's try and reduce this. Quite a decision whether I need to do something here. Yeah, I do have to block at least one to buy a turn. Yeah, get myself a turn saved. I mean, should have just burst my face, but fine. And there's the land at last. Okay. Okay. Alright. Bonus round for you. Questionable 4 and 1. This hand is quite lovely. Ouch. Claw. The claw. Let's figure out what opponents are and give us a land that solves it. Very confusing first land, obviously. Okay. Multiversal patch is naming swamp. So possibly ninjas. Let's just get wide and get some dings in. There was a thought about Dropper and Needlehead, but if we're elementals, okay. Okay, big old elementals pile. Okay, it's definitely an interesting thing to be running into. Attack for 5. I mean, this is the matchup where we capitalise on funky new decks, right? It's kind of the reason why people play Red X Wins is for these funky, clunky new brews, kind of feel like free wins. If they can get there, the best to them. But so blue, draw 2, discard 1. Okay. And you got the nowhere to run? Not nowhere to run. What am I thinking of? Not dead after all. That's the one. Get dinged. And you're not dead after all. Okay. Okay. So, what's even remotely close to a reasonable sideboard plan? Soul Guide Lanterns, nerf the Not Dead After Alls. Fanatical Firebrand isn't really doing it, and presume the land base is going to be extremely greedy. Boulder Dash is going to be irrelevant. Nova Hellkite is not going to take out anything. Okay. This hand doesn't provide any pressure. Okay. This is a little bit more of a thing, but I'm not entirely in love. I don't want the Lightning Strike. I am very much reliant on this Scalding Viper to bounce whatever your early elemental is going to be. We've got links, so let's lead on Mountain. Starting time for you, Spring Leaf Drum, okay. I think it'd be really fun if the Evoke Elementals worked nicely with okay, so we're going to get a little bit over reliant on this case doing a lot, so I think I need to just be playing out stuff so the case can actually do the thing. Okay. Get dinged. What speaker gonna find you? Springleaf drums. A little bit confusing. I'm not sure the purpose in the deck that I've seen so far. Maybe it will. Maybe it's just a little bit of colour fixing. Doesn't make too much sense when you've got quite the land base to support the whole thing. Get dinged. Okay. Yeah, I want to try and get this case somewhere to be online. I think I've got a turn of breathing room. So I'm presuming this is somewhere in the range of my next turn. Steam Vents into Hellkite into either Burst Lightning and or Hide Claw coming out. I suppose it, yeah. Springleaf Drum does give you a little bit of a boost along. Are we just in a race? I think with me trying to get case online, I'm just gonna try and empty my hand a bit, because I've got a good way to drag out into a later game, and at the moment I just want to get on board so I can apply that pressure. Razorkin Needlehead is gone, sure. A land would make me, drawing a land on my next turn would make me very happy. Glorb. You can have Glorb. $5 million fill up your graveyard, okay. Ooh, Cavron. Cavron does actually make quite a lot of sense, yeah. But this can be quite the painful turn if you want to do both halves of an elemental. Let's burst. Burst up top. Draw land. Yes. Okay. So do I want to take out Glorb? I think it makes a lot of sense. Take out Glorb. Use the double tap. Get attack in for 6. Unlock the case. Hope Deceit can't bounce my case. Okay, so we're like lightning strike away from this Nova Hellkite being lethal. Yeah, so you opponent's got to take at least 1 damage from the land base in order to cast this. Oh no, you got. Can you filter from middle speaker into not taking any damage? Let's find out. So I should probably just check this to see. Non-land permanent. Okay, so you can take out my case, but then you're not going to have a flying blocker. So there's no Hellkite's going to get in without issues. Case is gone. I'm not quite done on your next turn. You do need to put out another body if you want me to be concerned about the clock. We can get Sanctuary down. We will get the Hellkite down. Don't care what I ding here. Put you to 3. Could use the High Claw to get you to 2 and unlock Shock as the final top deck, but Hellkite, as long as Hellkite sticks around, we've got the game. And I mean, if they're killing the Hellkite, they're probably not killing the High Claw, so all the shocks are on unlock as well. Taking 9. Are you finding any relevant elementals? A Sonderflock. That's a big old hit. That's a big old good hit for you. Okay. So lightning strike, burst lightning, Sunspire links. We got range. We've got a wide range of finding lethal. Oh, that wasn't one of them. So You are. Oh. You are forced to block the Hellkite. So, ding the Sunderflock, because you are forced to trade with it. Running out the high claw. I need the high claw as a chump blocker. But if I... No, this just bounces hard claw and you get in. Okay, yeah. Okay. Game 3. Game 3. Any sideboard changes? Possibly Seer. That does take out Caveron. And Shock's not doing an awful lot. Seer does take out a wide range of your creature base, so yes. Yes, please. Okay. I'm sad to not have a hide claw, but this is a very fine hand. Razorkin Needlehead can apply some amount of pressure. Getting stabbed. Required in Hex, okay. This Sunspire Link's going to have to do quite a lot of heavy lifting. Sadly, it is an elemental, so it doesn't even get bounced by the Sonderflock. Black for Deceit. Yes, sure. You possibly need to take this here. Okay. So I possibly have a double tap turn to get rid of this Deceit. Yeah, I mean, I haven't got a lot else to be doing, so this is going to be a hell of a clock if I allow it to stick around. Yeah, one of the downsides of playing red is often getting just outclassed on board, double tapping creatures just to try and get back to parity. I could use Rockface Village to get the thing in with the higher claw, but that's fine. I'd rather hold up that Seer for the Caveron there. Caveron. Gonna go for deceit. Did do the whole thing. Which order did you go in? Okay. So yes. We'll take it out. You can have a little look-sees, but you didn't pay blue, so that's a bonus. I don't feel like I'm in a bad place, so we can try and apply some pressure, make this very difficult to be blocked well by you. Unless Jean is feeling feisty. Possibility of leaving up mana for strike is the right place to be. Damn. This very interesting. So nothing really. I'm a bit concerned about you actually having actual nothing. I don't think that's true. And I'm not convinced I want to put mana into the Hired Claw. I don't want to put mana into the Hired Claw now. Okay. Then let's tap better. Get the needlehead down. Ship it. Okay, trajectory, taking out the needlehead. Seems reasonable. If I'm allowed to get there. So let's presume trajectory was the best removal spell in your hand and it didn't improve in your draw step. Let's attack with a claw. Okay, speaker can jump. Let the Viper come down. Sweating top decks like a good little red player. What's Caveron grabbing you? 4/4. That thing, okay. Maybe we can set something up. I'm gonna. I think it. Yeah, I'm gonna presume it's gonna be correct for me to lightning strike right about now. Yeah, that Sundoff flock is coming for me. So let's strike now. Case. Let's use village mana. Okay. Happy fires, happyficators, yes. So attack with both. That thing's you to 4. You have to block the Hired Claw. Take 2 from the Viper. Burst lightning in the face for the win. For the win. And we've even got the yay! We got there. 5 and 1. Woohoo! There you have it. Nice 5-1 run with Red Deck wins. Several questionable wins, but we count them. Red Decks we'll take our wins where we can get them. Nothing in particular where I'm really upset with where this deck is sitting. The fire magics don't feel quite right. But other than that, the deck seems highly functional. Big fan of the Boulder Dash. It's nice to have a natural 2-for-1 option main deck. Hence why I'm playing the Cases and the Nova Hellkites and Golden Viper. We love 2-for-1s. They're great. I hope you've had a lovely time watching. Thank you for watching. If you like it, like it.